living in the ghetto has some ramifications, uh, some very negative effects on a human being. Trying to think of a way to put this. But first of all, let's define ghetto. Ghetto is an environment which is a neighborhood where the people are, for the most part, poor, low income, even no income. Many people are poor working, living truly from paycheck to paycheck, barely making it, barely surviving, and engaging in illicit behavior as a result of their environment. Selling drugs, doing drugs. The drugs could range from crack, marijuana, heroin, and even cocaine. And the crime rate in the ghetto, as they say, and we can encapsulate that with the hood. It's been termed as that as well, or the project areas in many cities, underdeveloped neighborhoods, and so forth. But this is the reality in that environment. We can get into how it got to be that way. Unfortunately, every city has its ghetto, not only in America, but across the world, in developed countries. So now, we know that breaking in, entering someone's home, molestation or rape, if you will, robberies are prevalent in these types of neighborhoods. Crime is high. And I will put a footnote in here. It's high by design. So the people who are products of these neighborhoods oftentimes are not employable, or they don't last very long on jobs because of their addictions, smoking, drinking, drugs, and so forth. They just don't last very long. They fall between the cracks. But not all. Every once in a while, you will see an individual that will rise to the occasion. They'll step outside of that situation. I remember years ago, I believe it was a television show where the young lady made the statement. She said, I may have been born and raised in the ghetto, but the ghetto is not in me. And I love that, and that rang true in my mind, to the fact that just because you're in that circumstance or that situation doesn't mean that you have to remain there. The world is wide open to opportunity. We can all strive to be better. I came, myself personally, from a working poor family, struggling. And to this very day, I'm appreciative. And I don't consider myself the wealthiest person in the world, because I'm not. But I do believe I have value. And as much as lie within me, I attempt to share that value with every human being that I possibly can, as long as I'm here on this planet. So I survived that to a great degree. But my question in this video is this, as it relates to women that come from the hood, the ghetto, who society by and large looks down upon. People in the ghetto, and usually blacks and poor whites, for the most part, they frown on you. So as it relates to relationships, would a upstanding man, would a decent man, not to say that everybody else is not decent, but would a decent man, an upstanding man, take a woman from the ghetto, from the hood, home to his mom and introduce her as someone that he's interested in, maybe even want to marry one day? Would you guys? If you consider yourself, as Kevin Samuel said, a high value man, would you consider taking a girl from the hood, from the ghetto, home to your mom and dad, and saying, well, here's LaQuisha, I like her, I'm serious about her, and I'm thinking about marrying her, or whatever the person's name is? Would you guys take that woman home? Would she be something worthwhile? Would it be a meaningful relationship, taking someone coming from her background in the ghetto, knowing what type of environment she has been raised in? Would you bring her home to mom and dad and say, hey, this is my future right here, and you are a man of value? That's my question. Real simple. Now, if this is a woman that's listening to me in this video, and you're from the ghetto, or have been in the ghetto, or the hood, or in the project areas coming up, would you think that you have enough value to give to a man of value? Do you think you're worth it? Are you better? Did you graduate from that situation or that circumstance where you came from? Or do you still have those tendencies? Those ghetto fabulous type of tendencies? Hanging out in the streets, smoking on the corner with your buddies, your friends, going out to parties, getting drunk and hanging out in the clubs. These types of things is what I'm talking about. Would a man want that? A high value man, if this is what you do. That's what I'm saying. Unless you graduated. So should a man bring you home to his mom? What value do you have for that man? I'm just curious to know. So if you are that person, that individual, ladies, that's in the hood, and you're talking that talk, walking that walk, that lingo, that language in the hood, and you down for it, and you got to get high every other hour, and you're hanging with your girls, and you wearing all kinds of revealing clothes and just not taking care of yourself as you should, do you think you have anything to offer a real high value man? And a high value man is not particularly a six-figure person. It's just a man who has standards and principles. That's it. And he stands firmly on those things. I just wanted to know.